das denkt. Dann habe ich hier noch eine Nachricht, die sie Mitte Dezember in ihren Discord-Server gepostet hat. Aber wir schaffen da nichts mehr vor Weihnachten. Wäre was fürs neue Jahr. Wir sind quasi alle kurz vorm Burnout aktuell. Und das muss man sich mal auf der Zunge zergehen lassen. Also Shoyoka streamt ja nur 1 bis 3 Mal im Monat, davon kriegt man kein Burnout, sondern die stecken anscheinend gemeinsam so viel Arbeit in diesen Discord und alles, was noch so dazugehört, dass die einfach kurz vor einem Burnout sind. Also klar, das ist eine Überspitzung, Übertreibung, aber sie sagt damit ja trotzdem, dass die super viel Zeit in dieses Projekt investieren und für solche Sachen, wie da gefordert, einfach nicht mal mehr Kapazitäten übrig haben. Digga, das muss man sich einfach mal überlegen. Das ist doch nicht gesund. Selbst im März diesen Jahres hat sie gesagt, dass das Team komplett an seinen Grenzen ist. Also das hat sich seit Weihnachten dann auch nicht geändert, sondern anscheinend steckt sie wirklich ihre komplette Freizeit in diesen Discord-Server. Würde zumindest erklären, warum sie nicht online kommt. Mir persönlich ist es auch wichtiger, alle möglichen Dinge von Dutzenden Influencern zu sammeln, anstatt für seine Zuschauer live zu kommen als Livestreamerin. Ich meine, das sind ja auch nur Leute, die dir Geld gegeben haben, die würde ich auch nicht mit dem Arsch angucken. Und eine Shoyoka setzt sich halt wirklich seit 2 Jahren in ihren Streams und sagt zu mir, dass ich mit ihr obsessiv bin. Bruder, und da gibt's diesen Discord-Server. Ebenfalls war es ja bereits ein offenes Geheimnis, dass Ascaron irgendwann dort ausgestiegen ist. Und auf dem Discord-Server wurde das ebenfalls diskutiert. Denn Shoyoka hatte diese Nachricht hier reingepostet. Er hatte nämlich anscheinend Shoyoka sowas geschrieben wie, diese Rage-Streams, die bringen uns überhaupt nicht weiter. Und Shoyoka hat sich natürlich direkt in die Opferrolle gestellt. Allerdings nicht sie selber, sondern einer aus ihrem Team hat eine Nachricht geschickt. Ja, es war David Dragomirovic, also wer soll das auch sonst gewesen sein? Und der hat gesagt, hey, Shoyoka ist eine Betroffene und wenn die das möchte, dann darf die das. Solche Nachrichten bringen uns hier nicht weiter. Und Ascaron hat ja komplett recht. Also diese ganzen Rage-Streams, die bringen ja Shoyoka wirklich nicht weiter, sondern es passiert ja eigentlich genau das Gegenteil. Ascaron hatte darauf anscheinend halt keinen Bock mehr und hat diesen Stream verlassen. Und jetzt müsst ihr euch mal eine Sache überlegen. Ascaron stand wirklich monatelang an der Seite von Shoyoka, hat anscheinend ihre Videos geschnitten, hat bei der Recherche geholfen, war ihr Copyright-Agent, hat also auch etliche Videos sperren lassen und zumindest in der Öffentlichkeit sah es immer so aus, als wenn er wirklich alles gemacht hat, was irgendwie angestanden hat. Und was glaubt ihr? Worüber beschwert sich Shoyoka jetzt auf diesen Discord? Richtig, darüber, dass wir Videos machen werden. Es gibt nämlich ebenfalls dieses Bild hier, wo sie sagt, ja, wenn das rauskommt, dass Ascaron den Server verlassen hat, dann werden die Leute wieder x Millionen Videos über uns machen und dann bin ich richtig sauer auf ihn. Also sie verliert einen eigentlich treuen Wegbegleiter wegen so einer Kleinigkeit. Und da wird nicht irgendwie gesagt, so ja schade, ey, der war cool, das war ein guter Freund, schade, dass der so ist, blablablub, sondern das Einzige, was dich interessiert, ist deine Außenwirkung, wenn das an die Öffentlichkeit kommt. Shoyoka ist nur eine Sache wichtig und zwar sie selber. Das zeigt sie damit mal wieder perfekt. Dazu gibt es noch 3 lustige Sachen. Shoyoka hat nämlich auf ihrem Discord-Server gepostet, dass Veronika Kracher jetzt ein Buch schreibt über diese Shoyoka-Thematik und da die Verbindung zu Gamergate 1.0 darstellen möchte. Wow, dieses Buch wird bestimmt ein Kracher. Veronika Kracher ist by the way diese Person hier. Sie beschäftigt sich mit der Incel-Subkultur, Alt-Right, Imageboards wie 4chan und so weiter. Sie ist gegen das Patriarchat, für Feminismus und was da nicht noch alles steht. Also das wird definitiv ein komplett neutrales, faktengebundenes, sachliches Buch und ich freue mich darauf, euch das irgendwann vorstellen zu dürfen. Die hat übrigens schon vor 1, 2 Jahren so einen super hetzenden, lügenden Artikel über uns geschrieben, da hatte ich auch mal ein Video zu gemacht, also die kannst du wirklich komplett in die Tonne treten. Wisst ihr, wer ebenfalls anscheinend nicht so ganz objektiv gewesen ist? Matthias Schwarzer. Das ist dieser Typ hier, der schreibt für das RND und der hatte ja ebenfalls einen komischerweise sehr einseitigen Bericht über die Shoyoka-Thematik geschrieben. Und man dachte sich ja so, hä, also hat er sich einfach nicht genug mit dem Thema informiert oder was ist da los? Naja, Shoyoka hat auf ihrem Discord-Server gepostet, das muss dringend intern bleiben. Matthias Schwarzer Nachrichten. Und was sind das denn für Nachrichten, die Matthias Schwarzer einer Shoyoka geschrieben hat? Bei WhatsApp? Naja, ich kann euch die Nachrichten natürlich nicht genau zeigen, aber ich gebe euch das mal vom Sinn her wieder. Hat jemand das Video, in welchem sich Alpha Kevin am Meppo abarbeitet? Einen Tag später wurde Meppo ja geswattet. Ich muss wissen, was genau da gesagt worden ist. Du hattest ja mal erwähnt, dass Alpha Kevin mit NWO-Accounts interagiert. Unwissentlich oder wissentlich kann man das irgendwie belegen. Seine zweite Nachricht dazu war dann folgende. Alpha Kevin versucht gerade durch seinen Anwalt Teile unseres Textes anzugreifen. Da wäre das ganz hilfreich, dieses Video zu haben. Das muss man sich einfach mal überlegen. Also Matthias Schwarzer hat anscheinend einen Artikel gegen uns und für Shoyoka geschrieben. welchen er selber anscheinend nicht mal recherchiert hat. Denn jetzt, wo Alpha Kevin rechtlich dagegen vorgehen möchte, hat er gar nicht die Belege für seine Aussagen, sondern muss zu Shoyoka gehen, um sich die Belege für ihre Aussagen schicken zu lassen. Wahrscheinlich hat Shoyoka einfach Matthias Schwarzer so viele Lügen über Alpha Kevin erzählt, dass davon irgendwas in diesem Artikel drin gelandet ist und der hat sich anscheinend selber nicht mal informiert, ob das Ganze stimmt. Und deswegen muss er jetzt bei WhatsApp zu Shoyoka laufen. Und das muss man sich mal auf der Zunge zergehen lassen. Die scheinen ja wirklich bei WhatsApp privat Kontakt gehabt zu haben. Was ist es dann für eine journalistische Arbeit? Jetzt weiß ich auch, warum dieser Artikel so unfassbar einseitig und kacke gewesen ist. Also anscheinend ist er ja mit Shoyoka befreundet oder zumindest in einem kollegialen Verhältnix. Liebes RND, ist das der Journalismus, den ihr betreiben wollt? Also jetzt mal ernsthaft. Und jetzt wird es richtig ekelhaft, denn es gibt den Twitter-Nutzer Ningyo2Kai oder auch Kenyoku genannt. Der ist ebenfalls bekannt dafür, Leute zu doxen. Unter anderem hat er das bei Jakob gemacht und auch bei ein paar anderen Meinungsbloggern ist das in der Vergangenheit wohl schon vorgekommen. Und Shoyoka hat trotzdem immer klipp und klar betont, dass sie überhaupt nicht mit dieser Person zusammenarbeitet und die mögen sich eigentlich auch überhaupt nicht und die haben auch rein gar nichts miteinander zu tun. Und naja, dieser Discord-Server stellt diese Aussagen schon so ein bisschen in Frage. So hat sie nämlich unter anderem Folgendes geschrieben. Und Nella und Kenyoku werden das nicht machen, da passe ich auf. Hä, aber Shoyoka, wie willst du denn da aufpassen? Also öffentlich hast du doch immer gesagt, dass du gar nichts mit Kenyoku zu tun hast. Wie kann man denn da aufpassen, wenn gar kein Kontakt herrscht? Ebenfalls wurde Kenyoku bzw. Ning auch damit beauftragt, Sachen über Alexander Boos herauszufinden, von Shoyoka selber. Dass der durchaus auch illegale Mittel benutzen wird, um an bestimmte Daten zu kommen. Ich glaube, das steht komplett außer Frage. Das würde wahrscheinlich jeder so machen. Und eine Shoyoka beauftragt diese Person halt noch und gibt das auf diesem Discord-Server zu. Und Shoyoka, da würde mich mal brennend interessieren, also um was für Daten ging es denn da eigentlich? Was für Daten waren dir denn so wichtig, dass du die von Alexander Boos haben wolltest? Vielleicht kannst du uns das ja mal erklären. Ebenfalls kann man auf diesem Screenshot sehen, dass zwei Personen einer neuen Person auf diesem Discord zugewinkt haben. Die ursprüngliche Nachricht wurde allerdings gelöscht. Die Nachricht von Asgaron ist allerdings noch da. Der schreibt an Shoyoka, dass Kenyoku jetzt auch endlich auf diesem Discord-Server ist. Der ist dann aber wohl irgendwann gelieft, weil, keine Ahnung, war vielleicht auch einfach zu auffällig oder sowas. Da Shoyoka dann später in dieser langen Nachricht auch nochmal schreibt, dass sie ja überhaupt nicht mit Ning zusammengearbeitet hat, ist halt offensichtlich einfach gelogen. Ich meine, du hast den Typen beauftragt, du wolltest aufpassen, dass der Typ bestimmte Sachen nicht macht und der war sogar auf deinem Discord-Server. Und dass er da drauf ist, war sogar so wichtig, dass du extra von Ascaron nochmal verlinkt worden bist in der Nachricht dazu. Wahrscheinlich hat sie sich da nochmal extra von distanziert, weil selbst auf diesem Server war ihr klar, dass eine Zusammenarbeit mit so einer Person jetzt vielleicht ein bisschen verwerflich ist. Während Shoyoka ja sonst immer komplett gegen das Doxing ist und mich schon 500 Mal dafür kritisiert hat, auch für Dinge, die vor 10 Jahren passiert sind oder auch jetzt mit dem angeblichen Namen von David Dragomirovic, obwohl der öffentlich einsehbar ist, bis heute, das fand Shoyoka alles immer ganz schlimm. Aber gleichzeitig kann man da mit einer Person zusammenarbeiten, die dafür bekannt ist, schon etliche verschiedene Influencer gedoxt zu haben. Das ist wieder einfach diese typische Shoyoka-Doppelmoral. Nicht die Aktion ist entscheidend, sondern wer sie macht. Wenn der richtige Leute doxt oder auch die richtigen Leute gedoxt werden, ey, ganz ehrlich, endlich ist der auf diesem Discord-Server drauf. Ich glaube, wir haben diese Aussage hier einfach falsch verstanden.
Da bin ich mir recht sicher, denn auch ich mache mittlerweile Betroffenenarbeit und unterstütze Menschen, insbesondere dann, wenn sie von Doxing betroffen sind.
Sie wollte wahrscheinlich sagen, dass sie für mehr Betroffene sorgt, weil sie mit Doxern zusammenarbeitet. Aber gut, das kann ja mal passieren. Ebenfalls auf diesem Discord-Server wurden von Subenu oder wie der heißt, ebenfalls auch privateste Daten von Bastien gepostet. Auch einfach unzensierte Fotos, wo noch andere Personen drauf gewesen sind, die gar nichts mit dieser ganzen Sache zu tun haben. Also solche Sachen waren auf diesem Discord-Server anscheinend halt komplett normal. Was kann ich also abschließend dazu sagen? Ja, irgendwie mal wieder nicht so viel. Ich würde eigentlich gerne sagen, wie krass ich das finde, was für Sachen da jetzt gerade rauskommen. Also gerade, dass Shoyoka anscheinend mit einer Person zusammenarbeitet, die reihenweise andere Leute gedoxt hat und personenbezogene Daten einfach in die Öffentlichkeit stellte. Aber also ich habe eigentlich gar nichts anderes erwartet, sage ich euch ganz ehrlich. Also dass die ein bisschen ist, das war uns allen schon vorher klar. Und eigentlich ist es auch gar nicht so weit hergeholt, dass es so einen Discord-Server gegeben hat, beziehungsweise wohl auch immer noch gibt. Dass sie aber gleichzeitig mit Journalisten wie Matthias Schwarzer vom RND so cool ist, dass die einfach auf WhatsApp schreiben und er sich sogar die Belege von ihr hat zuschicken lassen. Das ist halt schon krass. Also da weiß man wenigstens, warum der Artikel dann so einseitig gewesen ist. Meiner Meinung nach ist der ganze Discord einfach halt nur krank. Also diese Sorgfalt, diese Arbeit auch, die da reingesteckt wird. Und ich verstehe halt wirklich bis heute nicht, warum. Also den gibt es ja mindestens mal seit einem Jahr. Und das hat ja seitdem nicht mal was gebracht. Und überleg mal, wie viele Lebensstunden von den etlichen Personen da drin sind, dass die sogar fast Burnout hatten. Ja, tolle Arbeit auf jeden Fall. Was sagt ihr dazu? Schreibt es in die Kommentare. Wir sehen uns im nächsten Video. Bis dann. Okay, thanks, bye.
Wearing a blue.
Nice.
Yes,
That's what I go
red
for.
pill.
Wait, hold on. Wait. What was the time of the day?
Let's do Thursday evening. How about Thursday, 8 o'clock Central?
On when?
September 1st.
I'm gonna be in LA.
Bruh. Okay, well, then you give me a date then. Mr. Bon Vivant.
We can do.
Hold on. Active Measures donate 5 said Destiny can't comprehend how they are contractually bound to not leak classified information or they can be ran out of the country like Snowden.
There are oversight agencies for every single intelligence agency that exists that do have access into these organizations to vet them. If you think every single person who, hold on, don't distract me from this. The 6th or the 7th at a certain time. What time?
Of September?
Yeah.
6th to the 7th. Okay, let's do the 6th at 8 Central. I'm writing it down on my calendar.
6 o'clock, the 6th at 8 Central. Is that 9 o'clock my time?
Yes.
Okay, and your thesis for this, you think you can prove to me that JFK, the assassination, the official story is a lie? Not that you can raise some questions, but you think you've got okay, cool. I got it on my calendar.
That the Warren Commission is bullshit.
Okay.
And that Lee Harvey Oswald did not act alone. And I was getting to an interesting point. So the Attorney General, JFK's brother, never believed the official story. He goes and he was basically sidelined. Lyndon Johnson hated RFK. He becomes president. Hoover, who is the FBI director, he stayed in. He was supposed to go under Jack Kennedy, and they basically sideline RFK. RFK then, after Lyndon Johnson is set to lose in '68, Lyndon Johnson steps aside. RFK announces he's running. RFK wins the California winner-take-all primary. He's set to become the nominee and then the president, and then RFK is assassinated by Sirhan Sirhan. Sirhan comes up with him, Palestinian, and shoots him with a gun with 6 bullets. 8 bullets are fired. 2 of them in the back of RFK's head. One problem, Sirhan Sirhan came at him with a 6-shot gun from the front. And it's like, and that's in the police report. These are things that are going on. And all I'm saying to you, Destiny, this is why I didn't want to get too much into the weeds, because you don't have to take my word for it and believe it. The point is, there is enough out there where we can't rely on the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, the government can't conspire, so let's essentially just assume that that's impossible and write that off. There are enough inconsistencies, and there's enough things like Mockingbird and Northwoods and so on that you have to evaluate and say, okay, is the government story true, or is the guy on YouTube, the autistic guy on YouTube who made a 10-hour documentary, is he right? And you know, maybe you watch both of those and say, oh, the government was right. So I'm sure for some of those, that's valid. But we are of the opinion that, and we just disagree, that the government is able to carry out these kinds of deceptions, that they're willing, they're able to, there's evidence that that is the case, and so we need to evaluate. That's the problem, though, is people just call them conspiracy theories, and conspiracy theory is a synonym for crazy. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Dismissed.
Yeah, so the issue is that if we approach anything, if we want to be Bayesians about it, right, and you're going to ask me, without any evidence whatsoever, who's more capable of concocting a conspiracy and lying? Is it going to be 10,000 people of different backgrounds, political affiliations, interests in the government, interests in the private sector, and everything? Are those people all going to come together and conduct some kind of plan against the American people? Or is one dude who has every incentive to lie to you as much as possible, to make as much money as possible as YouTube, is that guy going to lie to you? Well, the probability exists that, of course, the guy on YouTube is lying to you. Now, is it impossible that there might be some nefarious things that are coordinated at high levels between lots of people. It's not impossible. It's just highly unlikely. And you need a very high standard of evidence to meet that. I can't talk to you about every fucking conspiracy theory in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I can talk to you about the coronavirus. I can talk to you about vaccines. I can talk to you about ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine. And I can tell you consistently on every single one of these topics, you guys are pure NPCs. Every talking point is an NPC talking point. Every single new drug that you want is a bot drug. Every single opinion you have related to a mask or a vaccine is straight manufactured from some dude selling you fucking vitamin supplements on the fucking Alex Jones show, all the way down to you thinking that like eating horse paste is going to be a better way to cure a disease than what fucking every academic institution and hospital around the world is telling you.
Did you take ivermectin?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either. Why are you assuming that? You're calling us NPCs about that?
Because every anti-establishment talking point, first it was ivermectin, then it was fucking first it was hydroxychloroquine, then it was ivermectin, then it was remdesivir for a little bit, it was every single new different fucking drug. What?
I didn't take any pills. You just called me an NPC about that.
That's great that you didn't, but these are the YouTube talking points. I don't know when you got into the YouTube anti-vaxxer shit, but these were all the mainstream YouTube talking points every single day.
Destiny, I'm just curious about this because, you know, I think that I understand what you're saying. It's just about simplicity. What is more likely? There's a crazy guy that went off, or 10,000 people got together. You know, you would say it's probably more likely that the individual did. And I get that, like, in theory. I get that, like, as an abstract rule. But when you're talking about the president's shot, which has major ramifications, or like 9/11. 9/11, you could say, changed the course of world history. Because what were the results of 9/11? Patriot Act, war in Afghanistan, war in Iraq, surveillance state, etc. And it's like, you know, yeah, maybe it was a bunch of, you know, it was 19 Muslims who were deranged and they got on planes. Okay.
It wasn't just 19 Sunni Muslims deranged and just randomly got on planes, but okay, go ahead.
Let's just miss the point entirely.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, when you present the story, it's like, wow, what a coincidence. They all did it on the same day.
Let's just miss the point entirely. Yeah, let me just precisely.
Yeah, let's get precise. What did Bush do? Tell me.
We can trust. The point is, when it's something that has grave consequences like that, and it's something that's obviously such a pivotal point in world history, and there's questions raised about it. See, the thing is, you're not even interested. You don't even know the lore about the conspiracies because you never looked into them. And it's like, you could say, well, I assume it's more likely. Bayesian analysis tells us, okay, well, you know, that doesn't really work when you're talking about 3,000 dead people and 2 major wars, really like 10 wars, realistically, 2 ground wars, but really like 10 wars, plus all these other things. Like that kind of, those assumptions which you're making based on probability just aren't good enough. You have to look into it. And when that kind of money is at stake, that's what you would call motive. When there's trillions of dollars at stake, trillions of dollars in contracts, and you're talking about the power to surveil the public, and you're talking about military occupation in the Middle East, which is at the intersection of 3 continents, not to mention the strategic assets and the strategic considerations, China on the east, Russia in the north, Israel in the west. It's like, it's not good enough to just say, well, I assume the government couldn't do that. No, you got to look into it. And you may look into it and come away and say, oh, it's totally unconvincing. But to dismiss it and hand wave it away and say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, that's my argument. What I'm saying is I'm not coming to you and saying 9/11 was a hoax. I'm saying 9/11 could be a hoax. And if 9/11 could be a hoax, everybody needs to look into it and know damn well that it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't. I wish it wasn't.
Sure, and I agree with you. It's good to ask questions, but you guys don't just ask questions. You guys believe in literally every single fucking conspiracy in the world. Do you think the government puts fluoride in the water for nefarious purposes?
Just I believe in conspiracy theories in the first place.
Hold on. I'm curious. Do you think the government? Do you think the government puts fluoride in the water for conspiracies, Nick?
For conspiracies? I don't think they do it for
conspiracies. They do it.
Why do they do it?
Well, they say it's for the teeth. I happen to think there's adverse health.
Yeah. Okay. So for nefarious, do you think the shooter in Vegas?
I don't think they do it.
Hold on. I'm just running down. I'm
curious. The shooter in Vegas, that was obviously fake.
Yeah, that was obviously fake. Okay. 9/11.
The Prince of Saudi Arabia was there at Mandalay Bay when it happened.
Yep. 9/11 wasn't real. Okay. 9/11 was set up by Bush or whatever.
And you
don't know if you don't know that the moon landing is real. Let's see. What other?
Hang on.
Yeah.
You've never looked into any of them.
What do you think?
So you assume the government is telling the truth on all of them.
I don't have time to look into every single.
You don't have time. You're a professional streamer.
Go ahead and don't let me. Yeah, don't let me. Yeah, go ahead. Keep screaming.
You have time to debate this stuff, but you can't look into it.
Keep throwing the fuck out. I'll debate what's topical, and I'll read. That's why if you want to talk about mRNA vaccines, or you want to talk about any of the recent stuff related to the pandemic, I could talk all day about that because that's what I've researched. What?
Have you seen the new Pearl Harbor, the 9/11 documentary?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch that.
But you have to watch that.
Yeah, you
Do you
gotta
guys
watch
are?
that,
Oh,
bro.
it's still more 9/11 truther shit.
Why don't we put it on stream right now? It's on YouTube.
No, because
Yeah, why won't you watch it?
Because
Destiny?
one-
Watch it.
You have some time right now.
Watch it.
It's 1:30 a.m. I gotta sleep soon. Okay.
Watch it tomorrow. Watch
Number
it tomorrow.
one. Number two.
Let's watch it together.
I don't have
Let's watch
time.
it right now. Let's watch it right now.
I don't have time to. I don't have.
Bits of it.
I don't have time to
He doesn't have
research
time.
every.
You're a fed, bro. You're literally a fed.
I don't have time to research every
He doesn't
single
have
fucking
time.
conspiracy theory. I don't.
20
I don't have time.
minutes
You got Nick lives and breathes every single fucking conspiracy theory on the internet. This guy knows why the frogs are turning gay. This guy knows what happened to JFK. This guy knows that we never went to the moon. This guy knows like I don't have because I don't have the time. I don't have the time.
You were playing Dungeons of Dragons when I pulled up to your stream. You have plenty of goddamn time. You're talking about potions with 4 white dudes go, oh, let's go, where's your potion? Watch a documentary.
If you-
Your fans don't even like that content. They tell me in the group chat they think it's boring when you play D&D.
If you want to give me a conspiracy theory like we've done with the JFK shit and give me time to research it, I'll do it and it'll come on. But I'm not going to step into this arena where you don't have any engagement with reality. You don't know anything about the real world. It's all conspiracy theories. That would be like us having a debate on fucking D&D. Do you want? It absolutely makes sense. Do you want to debate D&D with me right now? No, because you don't know fuck all about it. Because it's probably a waste of your time. Just like it's usually a waste of my time to dig into the 50 million fucking conspiracy theories that these guys believe in. Digging into whether or not it was set up by fucking Bush, yeah, that's a waste of my fucking time. I would rather spend more time in reality with my feet on the ground, figuring out what's going on, than having some dude preaching to me about how every part of the government is conspiring against you, dude.
In the Shire, your feet on the ground in Dungeons and Dragons world.
Copper is actually taking government interviews and reading the 9.
Arena Stories here, and today I'll be showing you the best possible PvP set and gear that you can take in In-Season Discovery Phase 8 as a rogue. First off guys, we have our helm, Duskwrath Helm from the new Scarlet Raid with 32 agility, 45 stamina, 12 strength, enchanted with 20 stamina, 10 agility, plus 7 defense. Now, one important thing I wanted to mention guys, defense is actually going to be priority number 1 in Phase 8 for rogues. The reason why guys is because it is basically going to generate energy, and we are going to be utilizing that, but I'll get into that in a second guys. On equip we have a 1% hit chance, a 1% chance to reduce our attacks being dodged or parried, 1% increase on our attack speed, and plus 15 defense. Now, we mainly want this, guys, for the set bonus. Your stacks of rolling the punches also now increases your total damage by 1%. And the second set bonus grants your blade flurry to now strike a third target, but we are actually not going to be using this, guys. This is for PvE. Now, the main reason we want this set, guys, is for the last set bonus. Your rolling with the punches now grants 2% more HP and 1% additional damage per stack. And also, not to mention, at 5 stacks, each time you dodge or parry your attack, you gain 10 energy, which is why I've stated before, your defense is going to be priority number 1, guys. So essentially, you're going to have a ton of HP and including your total damage increase by 10%. And whenever you do dodge or parry an attack, so for example, if you are fighting a warrior, paladin, hunter, or another rogue, and you pop an evasion when you have 5 stacks of rolling the punches, you will regenerate 10 energy per dodge or parry, which is completely broken, guys. Moving on to our necklace, Blood Cake Talisman. You can get this from the ZG event with 30 stamina, 16 agility, 20 attack bar. Moving on to our shoulders, Duskwrath Mantle with 22 agility, 31 stamina, 11 strength. Enchanted with 16 stamina and plus 7 defense. You can get this enchant on your shoulders, guys, from the Naxxramas raid. And for our second set bonus enchant on our shoulders, Soul of the Efficient. This basically reduces the energy cost of our finishing moves by 50%. Now, why is that important, guys? Not only does that help generate a surplus of energy, it basically reduces all the energy costs for our finishing moves by 50%. So your kidney shot is now going to cost 12 energy instead of 25, and we of course are going to be playing with the talent bonus from the assassination tree from Nectar Strats, which basically gives us back 25 energy whenever we do use a finishing move. And as I've just stated, your kidney shot will now cost 12 energy, and your relentless strikes will refund you 25 energy. So you basically gain a surplus of energy and build more energy while spending energy. And on equip, reduces the chances of your attacks being dodged or parried by 1%, and improves your hit chance by 1% and your defense by 12. Moving on to our cape, Blood Caked Cape from the ZG event, 16 agility, but the main reason we want this is for the 30 stamina, enchanted with improved stealth, and 20 attack bar. Moving on to our chest, Duskwrath Chest Guard from the Scarlet Raid with a whopping 47 stamina. This is way better than the PvP Warlord set. 26 agility, 8 strength, plus 100 HP, a 1% chance to have your attacks not get parried or dodged, a 1% hit rating. Now we are actually also going to be stacking attack speed as well, guys. It's going to be extremely important. We are basically building up to 15% haste with our gun. And yes, you heard that right, our gun is going to give us 15% haste, but I'll be getting into that in a second, and plus 21 defense. Moving on to our wrist, guys, Bloodfang Wrist Guard with 11 agility, 21 stamina, enchanted with 9 stamina, a 1% hit chance, and plus 7 defense. But the main reason we want this, guys, is for the set bonus, rolling with the punches. Whenever you do open on your target, target with a cheap shot, you gain 3 combo points, and then go into 2 backstabs, giving you 5 combo points, basically getting the full potential out of rolling with the punches. And we do want that advantage, guys. Whenever we are opening on our target, we want the full potential of rolling with the punches to activate, so we have our defense secured, we have our damage coming in, and basically putting us in a more advantageous position. Moving on to our main hand weapon. Now, this is actually never seen before in Classic WoW, ever, guys. This is very, very important and quite unique. We have our dagger, Queen's Fall from the Scarlet Raid, with a whopping 229 damage, guys. We've actually never seen this before. It's basically comparable to a one-handed sword damage with 19 agility and Crusader enchant. Now, one thing, unfortunately, 60upgrades.com did not update is their enchant information. There's actually a new Crusader enchant now. Whenever you do attack your target, and this does proc often, so whenever you are attacking your target, you keep on getting healed with 350 HP, and also, of course, not to mention the plus 100 strength for our damage, which is insane. On the equip, it has a 1% crit chance, a 1% hit chance, and whenever you do use Rupture on your target, it extends the duration of Rupture by 16 seconds, but we are not really interested in that, and I would never ever recommend you guys using Rupture or Bleeds as a backstab spec rogue, because you do lose control, and control is king, guys. We mainly want this for the set bonus, guys. When paired with King's Fall, you actually get refunded 20 energy. Now, what does that mean, guys? So now, not only do we get 25 energy from our Relentless Strikes talent point, and from our Shoulder enchant, which reduces the energy cost of our finishing move by 50%, and also, not to mention, our new Duskwrath set, that whenever we do dodge or parry an attack, we gain 10 energy. We also now get an additional 20 energy refunded whenever we do use our finishing move from the Queen's Fall set, which is completely broken, guys. Rogues will basically never run out of energy, guys, in phase 8, which is why I'm telling you to play with this. And for our offhand, King's Fall, of course, with 185 damage, 17 agility with the Crusader enchant. Again, as I've just said, there is a new Crusader enchant that heals you for 350 HP. So when you have 2, you can actually get up to 700 HP healed, which is why I also want you guys to stack speed on your attack, so you can basically get healed most of the time, with a 1% crit chance and a 1% hit chance. Moving on to our gloves, guys. Bloodfang handguards with 20 agility, 23 stamina, enchanted with 15 agility, but the main reason we want this is for the immune to disarm, because in Season Discovery, guys, there are a lot of classes like Hunters, Warriors, and Shadow Priests who can actually disarm you, so this is extremely crucial and important. It has a 1% hit chance and plus 10 defense. As I stated before, we are stacking defense to regenerate energy. Moving on to our waist, Duskwrath belt with 20 agility, 32 stamina, a 1% chance to reduce our attacks being dodged or parried, a 1% hit chance, plus 14 defense, and 1% increased attack speed. Moving on to our legs, Duskwrath legs with 31 agility, 42 stamina, 12 strength, enchanted with 20 stamina, 10 agility, plus 7 defense, a 1% chance to have our attacks not dodged or parried, and 1% improved hit chance, plus 18 defense, and a 1% increased attack speed. Moving on to our boots, Duskwrath treads, 34 agility, 19 stamina, 10 strength, enchanted with minor speed movement. Again, we really do want movement, guys, in case anybody tries to run away or if we need to kite our target. On equip, reduces the chances of our attacks being dodged or parried, a 1% hit chance, and plus 15 defense. Moving on to our ring, Blood Caked Ring from the ZG event with plus 16 strength, plus 10 agility, but we mainly want this for the plus 30 stamina. Moving on to our second ring. Now, this is extremely important, guys. You guys might remember this from phase 2, Craft of the Shadows with 6 stamina, a 1% hit chance, 28 attack bar, but we mainly want this, guys, for the plus 10 energy pool. Now, you might be thinking, Shiv, is this really worth it? And I'll be explaining as to why it is. If you guys remember, in the Duskwrath set bonus, you gain plus 10 energy each time you dodge or parry an attack. Now, while having an additional plus 10 energy in your energy pool, or plus 120 energy if you are playing with the Mutilate spec, this works insanely well with synergy. Now, what do I mean by that, guys? So whenever you keep on gaining 10 energy, you can use backstab, give you the exact amount needed in order to keep on pumping your backstab damage and keep on regenerating energy at the same time. So this works perfectly well together and synergizes perfectly in PvP. Moving on to our trinkets, Blood Caked Insignia from the ZG event, which removes all CCs and only has a 2-minute cooldown. Moving on to our second trinket, Renataki Charm of Trickery from the ZG event, which basically gives us 60 energy back on demand and gives us 1 proc chance of our ambush usage outside of stealth. Very important. Now, there's actually a few other trinkets that I could recommend you guys could use that is quite fun to use for PvP. Now, this trinket is actually quite a gimmick, guys, if I'm being honest. Portable cannon, you can get this from the Scarlet Raid. Basically, load yourself into a cannon. I've never used this trinket personally, guys. This trinket essentially loads you into a cannon and shoots you off into the air, I am assuming. And if that is the case, guys, this can actually be insanely good. For example, if you're attacking a paladin and the paladin decides to bubble and attack you, instead of wasting vanish, you can actually get into this cannon, shoot yourself off. I am not sure if you can choose the destination in which you land, but either way this can be extremely fun to use, or if you're trying to get away from your target to avoid any of their bursts, or if you're trying to reset, this trinket can actually be pretty fun to use. A third trinket I would recommend is Sir Darnell's Didgeridoo, which basically summons a random beast, which basically increases your physical abilities by. The fourth trinket I would recommend, now this is extremely powerful guys, Heart of Light, which has a 32 stamina stat, which is crazy just for a trinket guys. The main reason we want it is for the on-usability, increases your maximum HP by 2,500 guys per 20 seconds. This is basically like gaining 4 pieces of PvP gear with just a trinket. Now for the last trinket guys, it is Fetish of the Sands. You can get this from the AQ40 raid, which basically burrows you into the ground, turning yourself untargetable. So this basically works as a third Vanish. Now, the last piece of gear is going to be our ranged weapon. Now, as I've stated before, guys, we can actually get 15% haste with just this gun, which is why I'm telling you guys to use this. Starter's Pistol, enchanted with +3 hit rating on your ranged abilities, with +7 defense. We mainly want this, guys, for the equip ability. So if you fire off a ranged attack on your target, it increases your total defense by 20 and your melee attack speed by 10%. I know what you guys might be thinking. This is mainly a hunter weapon. As rogues, we are ranged attack on your target. It increases your total defense by 20 and your melee attack speed by 10%. I know what you guys might be thinking. This is mainly a hunter weapon. As rogues, we are going to be using our daggers, but that is not entirely true, guys. The reason why I want you guys to use this is because of our leg ruin Between the Eyes. Now, for those of you who do not know what Between the Eyes is, it is basically a retail WoW spell for rogues that they have implemented into SOD, which is a ranged stun ability using your gun to stun your target for up to 5 seconds if you do have 5 combo points. And as I stated before, we are going to be stacking your attack speed with our other pieces of gear because we are going to be using this gun. So essentially when you do use this gun, you gain 20 defense and also not to mention a 10% attack speed for 15 seconds. But with our other pieces of attack speed gear, it goes up to 15% attack speed, guys. So you essentially want to stun your target with Between the Eyes and then pumping your target with backstab damage relentlessly. Moving on to our talent tree, guys, I'll be going through this fast, so please do keep up. Our sub talent tree, 5 out of 5 on Master of Deception, 5 out of 5 on Opportunity, 2 out of 2 on Elusiveness, 3 out of 3 on Initiative, 3 out of 3 on Improved Ambush, 3 out of 3 on Improved Stab, 2 out of 2 on Heightened Senses, very important guys, please do not play without this, 1 out of 1 on Preparation, 2 out of 2 on Dirty Deeds, moving on to our Combat Talent tree, 3 out of 3 on Improved Gouge, 2 out of 5 on Lacking Reflexes, 3 out of 3 on Improved Backstab, moving on to our Assassination tree, 2 out of 3 on Improved Eviscerate, 5 out of 5 on Malice for the crit, 3 out of 3 on Ruthlessness, 1 out of 1 on Relentless Strikes, and 4 out of 5 on Lethality. Moving on to our runes, guys, I'll be going through this fast, so please do keep up. On our head rune, Combat Potency, on our chest rune, Start from the Shadows, on our wrist rune, Unfair Advantage, on our hand rune, Cutthroat, on our waist rune, Shadow Step, on our leg rune, Between the Eyes of course, for the gun, on our foot rune, One with the Punches, very important, on our cloak rune, Fan of Knives, defined by the rogues, on our ring rune, Defense Specialization, again as I stated before, whenever you do dodge or parry an attack, they do generate 10 energy, guys. On our second ring rune, Nature Specialization, to increase our proc chance for our poisons, for crippling poison, and finally, on our shoulder enchant, Soul of the Efficient, which basically reduces the energy cost of all our finishing abilities by 50%. And yep, that's all guys. I hope you guys have been having fun in Phase 8 as I have. And I just wanted to make a quick video talking about this, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
It's Rogue Mage. He's at the stair. I mean, Dogbat. It's
9/11 Commission book. It's not one guy preaching. It's showing evidence. It's really convincing. Watch it. If you watch it.
You're drawing constellations. You're taking one or two people that you want to trust. You're reading their books, and then you're watching the right YouTube videos to connect it.
That is hilarious.
The new Pearl Harbor is every single person involved, and when you watch it, it's overwhelming evidence. This shit is bullshit. From top to bottom.
Okay, Sneeko. No, Sneeko, I'll do this. Sneeko, do you want it? You want to set up a date for that? We can do that too. I'll fucking add that.
Do it.
That's what I know.
I'm not prepared to watch it right now. I'm not gonna sit here and...
You gonna take notes to watch a movie?
Yes, that's how conspiracy theories work, because there's gonna be 7,000 things brought up that I've never fucking heard in my entire life. That's how these things always work.
It's a movie. Let's just watch it.
Take this. Wait, Destiny, I just can't believe that this dude really said, well, you want to debate me on D&D?
Sneeko, give me a time and a date.
You probably think that's a waste of time.
Give me a time and a date.
That's why I won't debate you on 9/11, because 9/11, it's like, the things
Give me a time and a date. Give me a time and a date.
Watch a documentary.
Give me a time and a date.
I want to see this.
Oh, here's something that I have researched. Do you watch 2,000 Mules?
No.
Oh, okay, of course not. Yeah,
This
fuck.
is a blue
That's
pill.
election.
This is a red pill.
Yep.
No, Dinesh D'Souza's cringe. He ruined Sam Francis's career.
Oh, shit.
Which
Oh, yeah,
one,
I forget you guys
Destiny?
hate every other conservative.
Shit.
Give me a time and a date for the 9/11 shit if you want. We can do that. I just need time to prepare. Give me time to prepare and I'll do it.
Why do you need
one?
to prepare to watch a movie?
I need to
one?
prepare because there's going to be a whole bunch of random dumb shit brought up that I've never heard of before. And obviously, he's put together a documentary, so by the end of it all, it's going to be really convincing. But that's just because I don't know the arguments for any point. I can't know every single thing in the world. My brain isn't that big.
Fed. You're such a fed.
Give me a time and a date.
Who's paying you? Are you being paid by the government?
Give me a time and a date. Bro, you're getting paid to tell people exactly what they want to hear. That's the difference between you and me. You're getting paid to tell your audience exactly what they want to hear.
Nigga, I'm not getting paid. I'm banned from all the banks.
Are you making money doing what you're doing?
Hardly. We have some Turkish payment process.
You're about to fly to fucking Florida to have a little vacation. What happened to that 400,000 in crypto? Listen. Obviously, you're getting paid. You're getting money. You're not broke.
I invested my money wisely. Okay,
you can't
white
invest.
People get money, don't spend it.
There's
Get
the
money, buy
obfuscation.
business.
There's the pivoting. You have an audience because they come to you to listen to your particular message that's never going to change. That's what they're coming to you for. And they're not going to. Yeah, I get paid by the CIA. Yeah, dude. I'm cutting a fat check from the government. How did you guess, dude? How did you know that?
Because you're not even interested in whether 9/11's fake or not.
Because I don't have time to research every. I'm not interested in the frogs are turning gay or not.
That's your job.
That's not my job. My job is to entertain people on YouTube. That is not my job.
Actually, that makes no sense. If you're getting mad at me for watching conspiracy videos telling me to read Wikipedia, then why don't you read some conspiracy information if you're saying read both sides? If you're getting mad at me for blindly watching conspiracy videos, why I should get mad at you for only fucking digesting what the government already told you?
Sure. Then that's what I'm saying. If you want to give me a topic, I'll dig into it and we can go through it. But until then, yeah, I'm not going to watch one conspiracy theory video on YouTube and be like, oh, wow, this guy that's getting paid to tell me conspiracy theories and has a whole audience that loves conspiracy theories is telling me about a conspiracy theory. Why the fuck would I go to that guy for information about the conspiracy theory?
Yeah, it's true. We should trust the government instead. Don't trust some autist.
Yeah,
who
why
has
would we
life
trust the
destroyed.
government, of changing people that's made up of tens of thousands of individuals with accountability agencies and government oversight panels? Why would I trust that stupid shit when I could just trust the one fucking schizophrenic dude on fucking YouTube? True.
Government chill. I trust the schizos. I trust the people that have their lives destroyed trying to tell the truth and get censored.
Tell the truth, yeah, of
9/11
course.
conspiracies are against the community guidelines, but you're like, oh, I trust Wikipedia. Okay.
Where's this Pearl Harbor video that you wanted to link me? Is it on YouTube?
YouTube.
Yeah, nice one, Nick. Okay, so give me a time and a date.
It is against the TRS.
Why is it on YouTube then?
I don't know. Maybe they.
Okay, give me a time and a date for it. We can do
It's
it.
too based. Well, Sneeko, do you want to watch? I'll watch it with Destiny. You can watch it with me.
I'm down. What do you want to do? It tomorrow?
Tomorrow, you're gonna give me one day to read everything on 9/11 fucking conspiracies?
He's got to prepare. He's got to get to the State Department talking points. He's got to get a memo.
Hold on,
from the CIA.
Today is the night.
Before watching this documentary,
What?
you gonna call Hillary and Bill up before you watch a movie?
Destiny, why don't you just
No,
watch
I
it
actually-
with an open mind?
I
Why don't
actually
you just
call
watch it
Hunter
with an
Biden.
open mind and be open to the possibility that the things in it are true.
Because that's not how good research works. You don't start with the
Really?
highly editorialized
That is-
accounts. That's not how you learn about anything.
Wow.
That's why you believe everything Russia says about Ukraine, Nick, is when you start with the highly biased accounts, of course you're going to come up with a highly biased opinion.
Putin's a G. Of course I trust Putin.
If you want to try, yeah, of course, yeah. Why would Putin ever lie about anything? Yeah,
Joe
of course,
Biden.
of course. Telling me about the
Russia-
evils of the American CIA, but you'll go and suck off the Wagner Group and
America
fucking
is evil.
Putin. That's the funniest shit in the
America
world
is
right
evil,
there.
and Russia's totally freaking
100%.
based.
We can
Look,
do the
Destiny. You have
we
to
can
go
do-
into it with an open mind.
we can
and
do- I
the
have an open mind.
possibility that you're wrong.
I have an open mind.
You're
I
like,
do.
Well, I have to prepare. I have to read all the counterpoints and then watch.
It's not reading the
Like, you have to have an
counterpoints.
open
It's
mind.
like it's getting as informed as possible the facts of the matter. Then it's looking up at like stories from both sides. Yeah. So we can do the 20-second. Sneeko, if you want, we can do the 20-second on it.
Let's do it.
That's a Monday.
3 days from now.
What?
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm gonna do. You're in EST, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 9/11 debate on the 22nd.
Let's go!
At
Dude,
6
we're gonna
p.m.,
red-
okay?
Dude, Sneeko, we're gonna red pill everybody.
It's a fucking 5-hour documentary, though.
Go. Yeah, it's gonna be an endurance test, Destiny.
Yo, Nick, you realize I'm gonna get called coon now because you dropped the N-word in front of me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, call him out for it.
That was
Yeah.
impolite. I should have
Yeah.
said that.
Damn, you didn't do that when Jadion, Young Don, and Abba was on.
uh-oh.
But
What does
now
that
you're
mean? What does he think of
comfortable
you?
with
I got heated earlier. You can admonish me. You can admonish me.
All right, that was enough admonishing.
Okay. There you go. Well, hey, for what it's worth, Destiny subreddit, they said that you're like Sam Jackson in Django Unchained. Now
Yeah, they
that's
called me
fucking
a coon. Your white audience was calling me a coon because I'm talking to
That's-
somebody who I agree
Hold
with
on,
the
they don't
most.
use
Well,
the
That's
cone
fucking
word. They just say
racist.
Uncle
That's
Tom. Okay,
racist.
that's
That
different,
is
right?
liberal racism. That is liberal racism. Your fans are all white Destiny. Every single person who watches you is a white dude.
No
and they're
shot,
all
dude.
gay, and they're all trans.
And they're LGBT. I would argue Nick has more minority fans than you, Destiny.
Absolutely not. No shot,
is-
dude.
that is totally
no
true.
shot,
Hey, I've been
dude.
shooting both of you off your bit. I've seen more Black Destiny, Black Nick fans than Black Destiny fans. Even though your name is an R&B singer from the '90s.
Where you've seen like 2 fucking Fuentes fans? What are you talking about?
No, I've been in the sub. They've been tweeting at me. They've been spamming my chat.
Oh,
I've
the
met
guys
them.
with the black faces, so they can say the N-word on Twitter. Those are the Black Nick Fuentes fans.
No, the people who put me on to Nick were Black and Spanish. We got that rapper dude, Bryson, I forget his last name, who's
True,
been like
that's 3.
doing Trump raps, saying that he wants to get on the show. I think he's in the chat right now watching this.
Okay, well, I guess
Bryce
next time I'll bring all of my black fans, and Fuentes can bring all of his black. We can all bring all of our black fans to see us more. Okay.
All right, I'll be rolling 50 black fans deep, okay? Because because I'm there for my black friends, and they're there for me, because we're real, and we all dislike women, right? So that's really the cornerstone. I'm kidding. Yeah, but I found that very offensive. I saw that post. That was deeply offensive that they said that. They said I was like Leonardo DiCaprio, and they said Sneeko was like Sam
yeah.
Jackson.
Liberal racism
Totally.
is classic white people condescending tactics.
Sick. It makes me sick.
I'm not
Messed
a
up,
fan of
man.
that. Yeah.
Not
At
cool.
least Nick loves black people. Come on, Destiny.
I would never say that. I would never say that.
Because he doesn't.
I would never say that blacks are Uncle Toms, because I respect black people even when they disagree with me. Not even when they're useful pawns for my liberal agenda.
Nick, you literally
And
think black people are
Nico, welcome
genetically
to the
inferior.
plantation.
You think that black
Stop.
people are
Those are your
genetically,
words.
intellectually inferior.
I think that on average they have lower IQs, but I
Why
think
do they have
Tommy
lower
has a
IQ?
higher
Why do they have
IQ
lower
than me.
IQs on average, Nick?
There's race differences.
Nick,
They're
why do you?
real.
Hold on, talk to me about this. Why do you think they have lower?
Sneeko.
Well, okay, here.
Because
so
of
Sneeko, this is
genetics.
there. You go. So what did I just say that you disagree with? Because of
You
genetics.
said that,
They're-
I think they're inferior. That's
no, I
completely
said you said they're
different.
intellectually inferior.
You just said, roll the tape. Roll the tape.
They're intellectually inferior.
Roll the
Say it.
tape.
You think they're less intelligent because of their genetics.
No, I'm saying.
What do you mean no? Wait, why are you saying no? Wait, why are you saying no?
We're talking about group differences on
No, we're
average.
not talking about group difference. We're talking about genetics.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We talk about individuals, and we could say that an individual will have a higher IQ than another person. But we're talking about groups. We're talking about how IQ is distributed among many people. So it's not to say,
We're not just talking about the distribution
of
of IQ. We're talking about why it's distributed differently, and you think that's because of genetics.
Because IQ is a genetic trait. It's a heritable trait. And by the way, most IQ researchers believe this. The majority of IQ researchers believe that.
That race can explain the differences in IQ
That
between groups.
That IQ is heritable. That IQ
Hold
is
on,
a
Nick,
heritable
Nick,
trait.
Nick, 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 hold on. Stop, because now you're in a topic that I know more about. That's what you just said were 2 totally different statements. Saying that IQ is heritable, that's not debated, of course. Over 200 different genes have been identified that relate to IQ. Saying that group differences in IQ are due to genetic differences, that's a totally different statement.
Of course, one follows from the other. Are you
no,
listening
one
to what
doesn't
you're saying? Absolutely, it does.
It doesn't. What are you talking about?
Absolutely, it does. If there are measurable differences between the IQs, and IQ is a heritable trait, I mean, I'm sorry. What are you missing here about that? Of course that makes it genetic.
Because there could be totally different, you can break apart the fucking, what are they, GWASP or whatever? You can break apart all these different genetic informations on groups of people and find tons of different genes across tons of different populations that control our IQ. The idea that we can concretely say that the IQ difference from one population to another is just because of genes, that is not a position that's held. That is not, hold on. That is
why are Nigerians so many engineers? Why do Nigerians dominate?
That is not a position that's held by the majority of IQ researchers. That's a really strong statement to make.
100% it is.
Okay.
And the reason why Nigeria, and that's a good question, Sneeko, it's because the thing is, you know, if you look at Africa, there's going to be 5 billion Africans by 2100. You're going to have proportionally fewer high IQ black geniuses in Africa, proportionately than you would in Asia, but there's going to be a shitload of black geniuses by 2100 just because of how big the population will be. And the point is, the reason why Nigerians have such a high income in America is because in America we have an immigration system where the people that are allowed to come in, if they're not let in illegally or for other reasons, are the highest IQ. They're the best of the best and the brightest. So that's why. So if you're looking at Nigerians, well, all the Nigerians that are here because of immigration, and the reason that they immigrated is because they were high IQ and had jobs here. They had a work visa or something. So that's why. But that's a problem because then we're taking all the high IQ people out of countries like Nigeria. You know, wouldn't it be good if Nigeria had those engineers and intelligent people?
No, that's not true either. There's literally no empirical data.
Brain drain.
Yeah, it's called brain drain, and there's no data to support it. There's usually data that points to the opposite.
logical.
That when it's not just, you can't just say it's logical to make an argument.
Of course it
right?
is.
If you have a really smart person, but they don't have access to intensive capital for higher productivity or good educational institutions to be able to utilize their intelligence more, that person isn't going to grow into who they could be otherwise. So no, taking a really intelligent person from then why are you saying it's logical? Taking a really intelligent person from a country where they don't have those same opportunities and then bringing them to the United States oftentimes can make those countries at home even stronger because there's an inflow and an outflow of information that occurs when educated people go to the United States and then go back to their country as well. This is something that is documented. Brain drain is not. If you want to go look up studies for brain drain, you're not going to find any that support the concept.
Dude, I mean, you're literally obfuscating. You're obfuscating.
I'm not obfuscating. You can't say I'm obfuscating every time you're wrong about something. That's not how obfuscation works.
Obviously what you're doing, because if America is bringing the smartest people out of Nigeria, and if those people are, of course you're right, if they get educated here and go back, that's different. But if you're talking about they come here and they stay here, then we're literally taking smart people that were going to be there and here. Now you're right that maybe they wouldn't reach their full potential over there, but then the solution would be invest in capital over there. You know, if that's what you want to
invest in capital. Look at how you're just saying random retarded shit. What if we invest in
How is
capital
that
over there?
random retarded
What do we
shit?
invest? What are we going to invest in capital over there? There's a huge difference between just throwing money into random countries versus the most educated people coming to the United States, getting educated over here, getting good jobs, sending remittances back to their people, which can be a big source of income, right? Or bringing other people from those countries or traveling back to those countries with their level of education. Like, this is stuff that's argument. You can go look up NBER papers on it if you want, but like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with a fucking dictionary,
Remittances and human capital. Well, look, we don't need all these high IQ people. Look at all the remittances they sent to us. Look at all this cash they sent us.
Having a high IQ person in your country, isn't going to be relevant if you don't have the educational institutions or the capital for them to take advantage of those intelligences.
How are they ever going to progress if they don't have high IQ?
By traveling to another country, by getting educated, and then by working back with their home. They don't have to, but they tend to do so. They tend to do so.
They're going to build their country from America. All the high IQ people are going to go to America and rebuild Nigeria from across the ocean. That doesn't even make any sense. Oh, put a stamp at that, so it must be true.
People tend to maintain the connections.
sense.
People tend to maintain the connections both in education and in family and in corporation when they travel to other countries to work. A lot of that information travels back and forth. Again, you can go and look up NBER papers on this. It's a well-documented concept. Brain drain is not supported by any studies. It's a concept that exists in a dictionary. Okay.
Of course, if high IQ people leave one country and go to
Yeah,
another,
of course. If a
that's
high
the
IQ person
definition
just
of
sits in a
term.
fucking country with no person to take advantage of like his talents or his capabilities, that's so much better for them. Nice.
Yeah, it's true. The country should have no high IQ people, and all the high IQ people should be across the
Or
ocean.
people with high IQ should be able to sort themselves into the appropriate educational institutions, get
Hold on,
appropriate
hold on.
jobs that
Nick,
allow them
we're
to
getting
earn
on
more
my
money.
ass right now.
Yeah, what?
Nick, they're getting on my ass right now. Just I appreciate the free speech and everything, but you can't drop the N-word. You can't do that anymore on the stream.
I just said it one time on accident.
Just don't do it again. I know.
I know. I just,
Don't fuck with that.
yeah, you're right.
But the
I'm trying
Jews
to
don't.
be considerate.
The
Yeah.
Jews don't.
Well,
Okay.
As long as they're in Minecraft, right? As long as they're in Grand Theft
Okay,
Auto
yeah,
5.
okay.
But
Get my ass right
Oh,
now.
he said it once. Do I get one pass, or am I just do I miss out on that?
No.
That one
don't
gets
do it.
you're canceled. Nick, you get that one time. There was an A. if there's
Unbelievable!
you're
Wow,
coming back.
unbelievable,
All right.
dude. Well, anyway,
But
any
the
final words? What?
documentary, the 22nd.
The 20-second what?
You watching that 9/11 documentary, 9/11 debate?
20? You mean the 4-hour one? Yeah, I'll watch it. I have a date. I'll watch it. I'll do the
What
research.
research do you have to do to prepare? I don't understand what you're gonna do.
Well, one is I've got to watch the documentary from start to finish. 2, I need to document the claims in that documentary that contradict the official story. And then 3, I need to start researching why the differences in those claims exist. So, for instance, if they make a claim about like jet fuel can't melt steel beams, well, then it looks like the next thing I'm going to be doing is researching like, well, how does flame affect steel beams, right? If I find out that they melt at some temperature, I'm like, wow, that's some bullshit. Or I find out that they lose 80% of their integrity at some temperature, I'm like, oh, okay, well, that explains the difference. That's the process through which I research.
You have to do a lot of research.
Tower 7.
Yeah, we've all heard. Yeah, we've all heard the same shit before. Thank you. Yes, Tower 7. Yes.
You're gonna watch this documentary, and if you don't get red pill that confirms you're a government spy, that's what you have to do. Sneeko, he's not gonna go and research. He's got to go and call his government handler, and his government handler is gonna say, "These are the talking points we've been pushing for 20 years to deceive the American public."
Why are you so scared about me engaging critically with the material? Like, you just want me to watch your video and be convinced? You're so scared of me doing my... If I'm just gonna sell you the same bullshit story that the government's telling you, then you should be able to disprove it all easily. You'll own me. You guys will destroy me in a debate.
I'm just saying you should go into it with an open mind.
I'm gonna watch it, right?
Yeah, but you're not going into it with an open mind. You're going in there like, yeah, I'm gonna point out all the flaws in this.
I didn't say...
You gotta be open.
What did I say I was gonna point out? What did I say I was gonna point out?
You said you need to prepare.
Yes.
Yeah,
What did I say I was gonna...
prepare if you have an open mind.
What did I say I was gonna prepare? What did I say I was gonna point out?
That'd be like if I was going to watch the Elvis
You don't
movie,
remember?
and I was
So
like,
I'll tell you.
before I see it, I need to watch all these negative reviews to make sure.
I didn't say anything about negative reviews. What I said is that there is a common,
analogy.
officially accepted story for what happened with 9/11. So what I'll do is I will watch the documentary and I will document the differences in claims between the commonly accepted story and their story, and then I'll research why is there a difference. Maybe it'll come to be that when I do the research at the end, I'll be like, wow, this documentary made a lot of really good arguments. There are no ways to account for these differences. Or maybe, probably more likely, I'll do the research and I'll find out, oh wow, this is accounted for by this or that or that. We'll see what happens.
Okay, I'm really curious to see how this goes because
Sounds good.
You're just like, you know. You're just one of these government shills, bro. It's kind of sad to see. Where's the
And you're an
curiosity?
alt
Where's the-
media shill. You are literally
shill?
you're an NPC. You're one of the most bot people in the fucking world, bro. I can give you any government story in the world. What?
Who is Nick shilling for? You shill the people who control everything in our life. Who the fuck is Nick shilling for?
Nick is shilling for everybody that wants to feel like they're above the system.
Okay, so you shill for the powers that be, and Nick is shilling for independence.
I
and freedom.
shill for people to critically engage the world and question things as they will and to do research as
Except
they
for
want.
9/11.
That's what
We're not
if
gonna
you want to
research that.
question
That's a waste
9/11,
of
I
time.
just said I was
That's a
going to
waste of
research
time.
it. Why are you scared of me researching it, Nick?
Because I'm not. Your whole
You are.
life
You're scared of
goes
it. I
that you
literally
don't do
just
anything.
told you that I'll research it.
It's
There it is. There it is. There's those tactics again.
The tactics of scheduling a formal
Yeah.
debate. Do you see?
Your
Do you see?
weaselly tactics of saying, "Why are you afraid of me?" 9/11. I'm not afraid of researching 9/11. The point is, you admitted earlier you never looked into conspiracies because that's a waste of my time. I need to
I
play
can't
Dungeons
look
and
into every
Dragons
conspiracy theory. Bro,
instead.
even with this mRNA vaccine shit, I learn a new conspiracy theory every 2 months about the fucking vaccines. I can't keep up with every single fucking conspiracy theory that you make a living selling your gullible audience every day on stream. No, I don't know.
Whoa.
I'd rather play fucking D&D, my dude.
Groundbreaking MSNBC take. You sell
You're so
disinformation
scared.
Like Alex
You're so scared of
Jones.
me just doing some
I'm
research,
scared.
bro.
I want you to do it. I want you to watch it. I'm curious
Okay,
to see your
then-
reaction. Yeah. do
I
it.
think I need to chill because I'm in an apartment. I don't know if my neighbor's gonna fucking kill me.
Man, you guys get heated over it. But why did you really plan out to wear the blue and red shirts? This is too perfect.
No, it's like it's meme
It's so
magic, bro,
perfect.
dude. It's meme magic. The red pill and the human blue, the human blue pill. But I like Destiny. You know, we're best friends. You know, I don't know if you know that, Sneeko, but we are best friends. We're also fierce rivals. And
No, I can see that.
there's
You
a
ever seen the
fruitful
Flowbots music
dynamic.
video? The I can ride my bike with no handlebars.
No.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we're like the two dudes that go the different ways.
that's cute.
Oh, is it ride my bike? No handlebars.
Hey, Nick, be careful. If he wins, you guys are gonna end up in a relationship.
No, I don't think that's gonna
no.
happen. That's not gonna happen.
No, he's not my type. I'm not into Hispanics. No, I'm kidding. Oh, that is us. Yeah.
You Cuban and Mexican up here.
Yeah. Well, I like exotic. Okay, I like a little. In that regard, I'm similar to Destiny. A little novelty, you know. I like that. But I'm gonna have to go a boring white. I'm similar to Destiny in that regard.
I'm about to go back and stream. I'm yawning in this bitch. I'm tired, bro.
All right.
Oh damn, I was just gonna watch that 5-hour documentary too, but you know, on the 22nd.
Fuck off.
You're tired and you want to watch a 5-hour Okay, cool. Well,
I don't
listen.
give a, if you have to watch it, I was ready to red pill you. I could be up for that. I don't give a
On the
fuck.
22nd, we'll do it, okay?
All right, do your research and call Hillary.
Okay, it's Hunter. That's the guy I talk to now.
All right, chill.
All right.
Peace out, Nick. Happy birthday.
Yep.
All right, thanks, man. Good night, guys.
Love you, buddy. Oh my god. All right, fuck it. Why not? I hear these come up enough. I've been playing a lot of Factorio. The question is, do I want to do this research on stream or off stream? I don't think I'm going to be able to do it on stream because there's going to be a million fucking dipshits in chat. So I'm probably going to have to do it off stream. Oh man.
All you do is obfuscate. We know what... hang on.
Oh, no. Yo, what's up? This is my new friend, Nick Fuentes. He's streaming. I don't know if you're streaming right now.
Oh my
You know,
god.
Right.
Oh no.
Hey, this stream is
These guys are gonna get
wild.
steamrolled. Holy Jesus.
I don't know. I'll just see them on Destiny stream a few times, and so.
Yeah,
Oh
we never
man.
met, but...
Yo, Brody, I don't know if this is true or not, but Sneeko said you're like a borderline Nazi.
Borderline?
That's what people say.
That's what
but I'm
people
not.
say. He's not actually.
Yo, low key. I'm not gonna lie. He's one of the funniest political commentators.
Let's go.
Oh,
I want to give him that. He made me. He made me laugh properly during a few streams. So I'm gonna give him credit. Like he doesn't take himself too serious.
This is my first time hearing about you, man. But like, I'm ready to hear what you got to say, bro.
Hey,
I'm
Gideon,
really open-minded.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, Gideon, don't worry. One day you're gonna end up in an article, Gideon. They'll be like, he was on a podcast with Nick Fuentes.
You'll get canceled for this in
Probably.
the future. I'm sorry. You'll get canceled for this in the future. It's my bad. You can give me, article writers, BuzzFeed, and Lasanabi. Give me the smoke for that, bro. It's my fault that I brought Nick on.
I'm just figuring it out, man. I was in the. Hey, I'm here for it, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be controversial. I'm
Nick, what do you
sure.
think? We were talking about. I just asked Abel, what do you think's the biggest problem in the world is, and he said inflation. Nick, what do you think the biggest problem in the world is?
Lack of Christianity.
Biggest problem in the world right now.
gotta be
is
lack of God.
Probably the media.
Really?
Okay, the media and the
As a
US
Christian
national security
nationalist?
apparatus
Oh,
has gotta
man.
be number one. Inflation's a. How do we fix that? We gotta change the people that are running the media and change the people running the national security state. Inflation's a big problem, but inflation's obviously it's a symptom of a problem. Inflation is a product of the Federal Reserve. I'm sure, as you know, if you've looked into that.
I did last night.
Right. Yeah, I saw you, Sneeko, actually watching a documentary about that. And the Federal Reserve is part of the regime. You know, the regime is not just the government. The regime is, it's like probably 1,000 to 10,000 people that run all the institutions that control America. And America is the empire that runs the world. So It's not just like the president and the government. It's big tech. It's the media. It's the Federal Reserve. It's the banks. It's Wall Street. It's the whole deal.
You know, it was something about the banks. Shit, I don't know. This might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna say it. I don't watch the debates or nothing, but I was watching the presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, and I had always heard people talk about the worldwide banking system. It was like this big thing. They were like the worldwide banking system, the worldwide banking system. That's how.
Hey, you're gonna
they
join them?
control
If he
the
invites me,
world
I
and
will.
everything.
Damn, I don't know how to get. I can't just jump into a random
you know,
call.
I never really saw any evidence to support it. But, and you can look this up for yourself, guys. I was watching the debate live, chilling, sitting down, and during the debate, Joe Biden was talking about something, and then Donald Trump interrupted him. Like, you guys remember how Donald Trump kept on interrupting him, right? And then Joe snapped. He got pissed. He was like, he said, that's why you're gonna lose. And Donald Trump was like, why, Joe? Why am I gonna lose? Because I'm against you. The Democratic Party's against you. The media's against you. He said, the worldwide banking system. And then he said that, and he like put his head down.
Oh my
And
god.
it was quiet for a good. 10
Oh
seconds.
man, what are we doing here?
It was so weird because the whole time they were just yelling over each other, and it was just quiet. It was just quiet, nothing. And then